What's going on, guys? Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you. Tennessee Volunteers take care of business tonight. The Vandy boys are going home tonight. Tennessee goes to the SEC Championship tomorrow. They'll play LSU and what should be a pretty interesting game because I'm curious to see what kind of pitching either team has left at this point. But, hats off to Tennessee. They got after it tonight. Xander said there's a lot to talk about in this game. I found numerous things throughout this game I wanted to talk about. And Tony Vitello shook it up. He tried some things that worked, things that did not. All in all, a pretty good night. And is it ever a bad night to beat Vanderbilt? I don't think so. It sucked that the Lady Vols lost today. But my day was laid out. FA Cup final. Manchester United beat Manchester City. I'm a United fan. So that was nice. WWE King of the Ring. Got to watch that. Lady Vols, that stunk. Hopefully they can take care of business tomorrow. But then Tennessee takes care of business with Vanderbilt tonight. Sends them to the house. What more can you say about just this pitch? I'm loving what I'm seeing out of this pitching staff right now. Loving it. I said it last night, and I saw Tony Vitello backed up my comments on it. Not that he listened to what I said by any means, but I really thought Drew Beam was on top of it last night, and he said he threw great last night. Drew Beam throwing like that reminded me of the Drew Beam at the end of last year. It seemed like he had an extra amount to him, and that's going to be big for him. Let's get into the chat here. We'll start. Papa J, Big John, what's up, man? Thanks for coming in. $10. Let's go, Big Orange. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you for that. Super chats are available on here. What I do with them, I reinvest them in the channel. I don't go out here and blow them, or I'm not going out here painting the town or partying it up on the super chat money or nothing like that. It's reinvested in the channel. That's what I do with it. Always appreciate any super thanks, any super chats, any of that stuff. Thank you, Papa J. Always appreciative of your generosity on there. But Big Orange mullet. That mullet was flying in the wind tonight, buddy. GBO with the orange. JL had to bring Candy back down to earth. I totally agree with this one, John Baxter. I want all the hardware. I was up until the 5th inning of last night. I really didn't care. I didn't care if Tennessee would have lost or not in this tournament. All of a sudden, that 5th inning last night happened. My whole mindset changed. I want to win this tournament. I want to win. I want to be the number 1 seed, and I want to win the national championship with it. Everybody can call it a jinx. I get it. I totally get it. I was up to that till last night. What better thing to do win your conference tournament, and then go win the big thing as well? This team is capable of it. There's some things that we'll talk about I'd like to see fixed. And this is not on Tony Vitello or Frank Anderson. It's just some things that need to be fixed. Where what these guys have done, we talked about pitching earlier in the year. What are they going to do? This is going to be the downfall of them. And who knows, it still could be when it's all said and done. But I think I've learned my lesson at this point. Never doubt Tony Vitello and Frank Anderson. Frank's the best. He is the best that there is. They can have all their farms, their factories, and all this bullshit that they want to have around college baseball. The fact of the matter is, if you want to get better, if you want to progress, if you want to learn how to pitch the right way, you'll come to Knoxville. Frank Anderson is the man. He's got it going on. What they're doing down there with what they have. And man, I was ready last night. I had a hard time going to sleep. Tony Vitello, I saw some of the post-game videos from last night where they were out there in the huddle. And I would have loved to have seen what was being said because most of the players were smiling. He was basically pointing, and he was getting Nate Snead fired up. He was fired up. Snead was fired. The whole team got fired up. I was ready to go run through a brick wall last night. Now, granted, I would have hit it and hit the ground, but I was fired up. Tony Vitello's the man. Um, it is what it is out there. Let's get in some more here. Greg, God bless Marcus. Marcus Phillips took it tonight, and that first inning was awesome. That seventh inning he pitched, he was lights out. He blew two guys away. Kavaris Tears had that diving catch. Those last two, man, they were a circus. They because he had the guy that I think the dude that hit that one down the line, he literally hit the last blade of grass on that one. But out of all those runners they got the bases loaded. What was it? Definitely in the eighth, and then Phillips kind of let the guy who grounded out to him know it. Dude got upset. Here's the bottom line, man. It's a competitive sport. It's the SEC. If you don't want somebody talking crap to you, you better do something about it. And Mississippi State started it last night. Tennessee finished it. Tennessee and Vanderbilt have had some mouthing this year when they played in Nashville earlier on. So I'm not surprised that it happened tonight as well. It's SEC baseball. It's going to happen. I'm sure there's going to be that portion out there that's these holier than thou baseball traditionalists that's going to come down on Tennessee. Piss on them, man. They've been there ever since Tennessee's gotten good. Where were they when Tennessee was not good? If you don't like it, go watch somebody else. All right? It's baseball. It's happening all around the country. It is what it is. I'm tired of hearing of these baseball traditionalists, and I'll go against them any day of the week on what they want to talk about with baseball. Any day of the week. Any day with it. I'm over the traditionalists. It's a game that evolves. All games evolve. This one is one that's evolving for the better. Now, granted, I loved baseball. I loved the baseball we watched growing up. Where it's going now with more enthusiasm, I don't have a problem with mouth running. I just don't. It is what it is. It's part of it. Yes, I wanted to hit this one. This is a big one tonight. Xander Sechrist, man. How about the outing that he had tonight? He was excellent. He was absolutely excellent tonight, and it could not have happened at a better time because you look at Tennessee's getting down to the wire on their pitching. And then Sechrist tonight. Let me look at his numbers. Let's look at the final line with him. 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. He faced 23 batters, 80 total pitches. ERA for the year down to 3.82. That's pretty respectable in this conference, especially when it's a murderer's row. This conference is brutal. It is absolutely brutal. And I feel Sechrist, for the most part, has gotten better. Now, I don't know. He's hit and miss. He'll have a good outing and then one where he's not as good. But I thought he was excellent tonight. I'm very encouraged because that's 3 days in a row now. Stamos went the furthest I think he's gone this year. Turned it over to Causey. They took care of business. Bean, man, got a tough draw last night. He threw excellent. Tony Vitello talked about it, said there was numerous times they thought they were out of that inning last night. I said it on here. Even with Cal Stark dropping that one, the next 2 breaking balls were excellent. I'll be honest, guys. I don't know that I know what the hell a strike is anymore. I watched Billy Amick tonight. They threw one outside to him. It was a strike. Marcus Phillips walked a guy, and his last 2 pitches were better than what Billy Amick was called a strike on. I'm not sitting here whining. I'm just like, I don't get it. I'm not getting what a strike is anymore. What Drew Beam threw last night in his 4 2/3 innings at that at bat, I don't know what more you want out of him. Mississippi State made him pay after that. It is what it is. It's I know umpires are not perfect. I know it's a tough game. I get it, but I just don't know. I don't really have much more to really say on that one. But Xander Sechrist, man, hats off to him tonight. Pitched his ass off tonight. Pitched excellent tonight. John Baxter, $5. Go Big Orange. Thank you, John. Always appreciate you being a part of the channel. Always comment and always leaving good feedback. Thank you. Thank you for your generosity on there as well. It's always appreciative of you. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Got a lot of good comments on here. Greg German, Snead, AJ Kirby, Combs, all ready to go tomorrow. I'm curious to see who starts tomorrow. I'm really curious on that one. I think, obviously, your three guys who started the last 3 days are done. Causey's done for the weekend. They're not going to throw them again. Do they come out of the gate with AJ Russell? I wonder if that's a possibility. After the way Snead, I could see Snead going a couple of innings, but I would not go further than that if you're going to start him. Loy was warming up tonight. I think Banky will be ready to go tomorrow. Tennessee's going to have a pretty good group of guys ready to go tomorrow. I don't know what LSU's going to have left, especially after extra inning game day. And how about LSU? Hats off to them, man. Down 8-0, come back and won that one in extra innings. I think Tennessee takes care of business tomorrow. I just do. They're better than LSU. I mean, LSU's kind of got that mojo going. I said it when Tennessee played LSU earlier in the season. Tennessee swept them. I said, this LSU team has talent. It really does not matter until that postseason when they get it together. Maybe they're getting it together now. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to watch tomorrow. And I hope it's that game where both teams are fired up. I hope mouths are being ran. I hope coaches are getting warned. I hope it's the whole 9 yards. That'll be the perfect ending to this tournament. Tim Bradley says, well, I guess there's just one thing left to do. Win the whole flipping thing. That is the made-for-TV version of it right there. I agree. Last night, my total mindset changed in that 5th inning. I went from, whatever happens, happens, to, let's win this whole thing. Let's just win this whole thing. Let's do what people are saying is impossible or they don't want to happen nowadays. Let's win this whole freaking thing right now. We got 66. That's a nice amount. Let's get this thing up, man. I'd love to see this thing hit 100. I've never had 100 viewer show, not even basketball nor baseball, but I'm hoping. That's why I've been doing these live shows. I'm hoping when we hit the regionals, the super regionals, hopefully beyond, that we can really build this thing. Because this is going to be, I can assure you, I've said that from the get-go. Some of my focus changed because I started focusing more on basketball. But with baseball, that was really the big thing I wanted to do out of the gate. I'm a baseball guy, not sitting here saying I know it better than anyone else or nothing like that. But I love the game. I've been around it. I've had some awesome opportunities in it. As far as channels or any of it that covers UT baseball and beyond, this is going to be the one. This is the one. I hope it gets out there that people will flock to this one because we're going to talk actual baseball. I come up on one last night after the game on Twitter. I thought it was a baseball, and it was a bunch of garbage. It was nonsense. I get it. I don't care. I'm not cracking on. It's those channels I'm familiar with or anything. I will say that. It was one I wasn't familiar with, but it was just nonsense. We're going to talk baseball on here. We may get off topic a little bit. All right. That's just who I am. I get off topic, but we're going to keep it as much as possible. And, I'm going to hit out, I'm hoping to get somebody on, 1 or 2 people on here with me. I've kind of hit out a little bit. No luck so far, but got some other options I may look at as well to get on here. I think it would make it, you all probably at some point get tired of hearing me for an hour or whatever it is. It'd be nice to get some other voices on here to kind of chat with it as well. David Emerson, no matter what, should be top spot in the tournament, one with some backups too. I totally agree. I think they're the number 1 seed at this point. I know a lot of people get nervous about that and say, well, we don't want that. It is what it is to this point. Who's going to be above them? It's not going to be, I'm not sure who the ACC championship is tomorrow. I know it's Florida State. I'm not sure who's on the other side of it. I'd seen North Carolina mentioned as possible overall number one. D1 had Kentucky all the way up to this weekend. I didn't understand it due to Tennessee should have been ahead of. Tennessee's going to be the number one overall seed. I don't see any other way they go with that. The thing they have to do is break that jinx. That's what you have to do. You should never not want to be number one with it. So now, the thing is, come in, take care of business, play loose. What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose when you get in there? If you go in and play tight and you play not to lose, what normally happens? You normally lose on it. Will Murley, don't want to throw anybody that might throw next weekend and risk anything. Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think I'll be curious to see if we see Russell again tomorrow. I think they kind of alluded to he can go. Sneed, I look for Combs. I possibly look for Banky. I look for Cannell. I mean, Cannell, I feel like that guy could throw 500 pitches and he's good next day. He's kind of like where I coached last year. Me and another guy would throw BP. We'd probably throw 500 pitches in a day. The next day, we're out there throwing another 500. Not that we're throwing near as hard as these guys are by any means, but still yet. I feel Cannell, he could go throw 500 a day and be good. He's kind of old school in that. Tip of the cap to Sechrist and Phillips. They preserved that pitching staff tonight. They really conserved a lot of arms tonight. There is no doubt about it. Sechrist getting the amount of time he did, 6 innings, Phillips going 3. It was interesting with Phillips. I'm not going to lie about it, but the bottom line is he got through it. I'll get to more of your comments here. We got 72 in here now. Make sure you like this thing, you share it. If you have not and you like the content, make sure you subscribe. That way you'll get notifications. Want to go live. I think the plan will be to resume the Monday Night Live show this week. I'll be live tomorrow after the game, live Monday night. Tuesday night and Wednesday night, I'm out of commission. Just point blank, I'm doing the old colonoscopy this week. So any of you that's ever had that before, you know more than I do, but I know I'm going to be out of commission for a couple days this week. But definitely be back ready for the weekend when the regionals start on here. I want to get into the lineup tonight. First, Sechrist, one of my bullet points, who's left to pitch. Some of you have already alluded to that. I think Loy is good. I think Banky will be good tomorrow. Sneed could go tomorrow. Cannell, I think he's good. I think Combs will probably be good. I would be surprised if Stamos was good. If they went J.J. Garcia, Austin Hundley, Matthew Dallas, or somebody, those guys could throw if they needed to. But I think as far as your main guys, does A.J. Russell throw tomorrow? I'm really interested to see if they trot him back out or if they just kind of stick to bullpens with him. I think that's an interesting one to see. If he's good, if he's on schedule to throw a pin, I wouldn't have a problem with him going out and throwing an inning tomorrow to see what he has. But, I know they're going to be cautious, which I appreciate the fact that they do that, and they don't just, it's not worth risking him for SEC tournament championship. It's just not. It'd be nice to win it tomorrow. Don't get me wrong. You're here. You might as well win it because tomorrow's the last day of it. You've already gotten here. You might as well go win it. But it's not worth risking him to lose him going forward on it. One of my big talking points tonight, and I'll be honest, this game should have been much worse than it was. 6-4 Tennessee. It could have been much worse. Christian Moore, Blake Burke, they're both on to start the game. Billy Amick quit. Billy Amick his average is down to 311 right now. It is drastically dropped. I would not have a problem if they give him tomorrow off. We need him. I'm just thinking his swing, it's all or nothing with him right now. He's swinging for the downs, and I don't know. I feel like these teams have adjusted to him, especially in this tournament. He's been bad in this tournament. And even, he's had some bad luck. He hit a hard ball or two tonight right at him. But He had a couple opportunities tonight and nothing. Horrible at bats. I have no problem if he sits out tomorrow. Uh, Give him a day off. Let him look at it. Let him get his wits about him because he's in a slump, and we need the best Billy Amick back. We need the guy who was mashing earlier in the season. I mean, for his average to be down to 311 right now, as high as it was at one point, that tells you how bad he has been recently. I know he's probably working hard. I know it's just one of those things. I mean, it happens. Slumps happen. I thought I thought the lineup was really interesting tonight. I didn't have a problem with it either. You had so you had Peebles in at catcher, Bargo third, Amick DH, and then they went with Antigua at short. Well, we see why Antigua is not in. He can't hit. 0 for 2, 2 Ks. Dean Curley come in later. He was 0 for 1, but I think he had, if I'm not mistaken, did he have a sack? Is that right? Can't remember what it was he did now off the top of my head, but I liked it. They give some of these other guys an opportunity. You had Bargo went 1 for 2 for an RBI and a walk. Also, he had a sack fly. Peebles 2 for 3, scored 2 runs. He had an RBI. He did strike out once, but he had a sack fly also. That guy just seems to put the ball in play. It seems like he's kind of settled down. He's kind of calmed down, and he's been doing some pretty good things there. So, I liked it. They got other guys opportunities tonight. And, even though I think Reese Chapman's probably your DH when they get to the regionals, but I like the fact they give some other guys opportunities. Now, we'll get back to some of your comments here as well. Tim Dewberry, who pitches tomorrow? I'm curious to see if I can run across any post-game stuff because I couldn't find much last night, and then of course all of a sudden, today they're all there. But let me see, because I don't think UT Sports has live post-game. At least not for baseball. If they do, I've not found it. I'd love to be able to put that on there and see what. Vitello's entertaining enough the way it is. I'm going to guess. I don't know, man. Could they go Russell to start tomorrow? I'm kind of interested. I know some of you have commented. I'm curious to get on down the line here, see what your comments are. But still trying to see if I can find Vitello's. Oh, yeah. Just wanted to remind you guys, if you have not forgotten, Chaz Lanier signed with Tennessee today. He's officially in the boat. Chaz Lanier's a volunteer. So if you're a Kentucky fan and you're watching on here, good luck. But you're going to do it without Chaz Lanier. Tried to tell you Kentucky guys the whole time that come on here spouting your history and your national championships, even though you've not had one going on 13 years. Tried to tell you what was going to happen. You didn't want to listen. Never doubt Cool Hand Frank Rock. The Outlaw, it doesn't matter which one of me shows up. Never doubt. I'm trying to bring you facts on here. I'm not on here to troll or do clickbait for sure. Still don't have anything. Nothing on UT Sports. Let's see if anybody's got it on Twitter, possibly. If anything on here, they're going to have comments. They don't ever stream it. Nope, nothing yet. So we'll just look at that later on. But, of course, Tennessee now, they're in third time in 4 seasons. They're in the SEC Tournament Championship. They won one. They lost one to Arkansas. They won one the next year. Last year, they went one and done. This year, they'll play LSU with what I feel is a good chance to win it again. I've got to think LSU's getting short on pitching this weekend, as many games as they played, and especially with them going extra innings. Tony said multiple times, we have bigger fish to fry. Be nice, but there's more important baseball left. You don't risk your main guys for it, but if you have guys available, you throw who you got tomorrow. You're here. You've already gotten here. You might as well try to win it, but you don't risk the regionals, super regionals, and beyond just to win tomorrow. But I think they've got a pretty good amount of guys available who will who's pretty good pitchers. I like how they're set up for tomorrow. Cannot stress enough how much it meant for Seacrest and Phillips to eat it today like they did. I mean, they did pretty good last night with it. It's a damn shame that Beam was not out of that fourth inning like he was, because he pitched well enough to be out of that and at least into the sixth, if not seventh inning last night. So they had to use Combs probably a little more than they should have. But, that's part of it too as well. This is a good I felt all year we'd get the best Beam come tournament time. Last year, we saw the best Drew Beam. You guys have heard me say this numerous times. I went to the last day of the regular season in Columbia when they played South Carolina last year. They played the doubleheader because they got moved back for rain, and Beam threw the last game, and he was lights out that game. And it carried over into, of course, he didn't have to throw in the SEC tournament, but he threw the deciding game in the Clemson Regional. He threw the deciding game in the Southern Miss Super Regional, and he threw the deciding game, and he pitched well enough to win against LSU. LSU did what they had to win on that night. Tennessee's bats did not come through, but Beam was excellent at the end of the year, especially his last four starts. He was, his last three starts, because prior to that South Carolina, he had been a little rough, but he pitched, in that game, in the regional against Charlotte, against Southern Miss. Well, yeah, his last four starts, he was very good. He was very good. He was easily Tennessee's best starting pitcher. Burns was their best guy, I feel like, in that postseason. But Beam didn't get the credit. Beam was right there with him. Tony Vitello talked about it last night, how much he appreciates Drew Beam. Dude's just solid. He's a solid pitcher. And he hit 96 last night. He was throwing about, I feel like a lot of the year he's been in that 92, 93 range. He was amped up. He had good stuff. Like I said, it was a shame he was not able to get further than he did last night. I'm curious to see how they go. They talked about it a little bit tonight with Peterson and Burke and Tom Hart on there. How do they go with the postseason? I don't know if they change things. I think it'll still be Stamos and Causey the first night. I think it'll be Beam game 2. And then if they, do go to a game 3, which I fully expect they will, I think you'll see Seacrest Snead probably be the plan on that. But, the regionals have looked kind of different. The one today, I don't know. It keeps being mix and match. I saw one with Illinois in it. I've seen one with Georgia Tech in it. Based on what I've seen, I've not seen any of them, especially with Tennessee's that have won. I think if they come out and play their game, no bullshit like they had a couple years ago when they were number 1 overall, when they blitzed through the year, and all of a sudden we get into the tournament and we have drama from numerous aspects with it. I don't think you'll see that this year. Tony Vitello's talked openly how much he loves coaching this team. And if you saw that huddle last night after the game, that's a group of guys that like each other, man. They like playing for each other. And like I said, if you're a Tennessee fan, you watched that and you didn't get hyped up, I don't know what to tell you. That was that's our guy, Tony Vitello. That is our guy right there. BS Osborne, what's up, man? Good to see you on here. My son's a huge United fan, graduate student, University of Manchester. Nice. Stoked, of course, we are all Vol fans. Great big Go Big Orange, great channel. Hey, thanks, man, for tuning in. That's cool stuff. It's I never thought United would beat City today, but hey, they come out and took care of business. Got a little iffy late, but I'm curious to see what is going to happen with Manchester United going forward. I know a lot of you guys on here right now did not tune in to hear Manchester United stuff, so we do go a little off topic on here sometimes, but I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with Ten Hag going forward. A lot of them on the telecast today seem to think it's a foregone conclusion he's gone, but I wonder if that FA Cup changed things or not. We'll talk it all on here, guys. Basketball, football, baseball, women's basketball, softball. We'll mix in some soccer. If you want to talk some hockey, I'm not up to date on hockey. I need to get into it. I've said it for years. I do. If you want to talk wrestling, if you just want to talk words of wisdom in life, we'll talk it all here. Let's see here. Sneeder, Loy Starks, Russell Kirby, Lloyd Banky, Combs, all available to throw. I think I go Loy. I really do. I think I would go Loy tomorrow. But I don't know. Maybe they go Sneed a couple innings. Again, if they do start Sneed, we saw it the other night. 2 innings and he's good. 2 innings and he's good. I think you go no more than that with it, especially with all these guys you have available. I don't know. There was earlier in the season when we didn't really kind of know where they were going. I would guess at them, and I was wrong. So I don't know that I'll be able to guess this one. I could see Sneed going, but I think I would go Loy, see what he's got for a couple innings on it. But I like how it's set up for them tomorrow, and I don't think how it's set up that it will impact the regionals, especially if they don't start till Saturday in the regionals. That's not known yet. We'll know that on Monday, I think. I'd say Lloyd Dallas. I kind of wonder if we'll see Dallas again. I really kind of wonder if we'll see him again after his outing. I think Dallas has a lot of potential. I think he's going to be a big part of this, team the next couple years. But I just think inconsistency. It's a freshman. It's your Chase Burns and Drew Beams don't come around every year, as we've seen. You get those guys, and I'm disappointed this year. We saw 2 years ago Wyatt Evans. He was a true freshman. He gave him some good innings out of the bullpen. He got injured last year. Apparently, he got in the doghouse this year. He's never pitched a pitch for Tennessee. Barring a miracle, I would say he's gone. And that was one of my guys when I did preseason previews that I was high on. I thought he could be a vital part of this pitching staff, and it's not happened. So, I mean, obviously it's not going to at this point. Dallas has the stuff. Dallas I think it's, they talked about it some last year with numerous pitchers. And, Vitello alluded to this earlier in the season. He said he really complimented this year's bunch, and he alluded back to last year. He said some of those pitchers, and, there's a couple I think gave him some trouble. Obviously, one of them went to Wake Forest. The other one, I'm thinking, went pro after the year. But they had to change some things up because it was not working. If you're a Matthew Dallas or whatever, if you're seeing these results, you need to trust in Frank Anderson. I almost said Frank Rock. Trust in Frank Rock too, obviously. But Frank Anderson, dude's good. He's the best. Frank Anderson is the man. There's times I've doubted him. I've wondered what's going on. I'm done doubting him. He's the man. Frank Anderson is the man on that. Moonshine, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. Hit that like button. Absolutely. Absolutely. M-Ball, brother. What's up, man? Frank Ball is your Frank Ball. Frank Ball. We'll talk some Frank Ball on here as well. Frank Rock is your baseball man. There's no doubt about it. That is total facts being told right there. Moonshine says, bye-bye, Vandy boys. JLC Mo with the 2-run bomb. He killed that one. Absolutely crushed that one to dead center. This dude's the man. Christian Moore's the man. With him and Blake Burke both, I think we saw it their freshman year, what they could do. And that was with them not being full-time. That was such a good team that you did not need them all the time. But those guys kind of alternated DHing and stuff. Both of them, I think, double-digit home runs. Both of them had big hits as freshmen. You kind of seen what they were capable of. And talking about Burke, I'm sure a lot of you probably saw that last night. But, that was pretty hilarious that when he hit the bomb, apparently some kid hollered at him, said, 25, you suck. And then in the pitch, he hit the bomb. That was pretty hilarious, needless to say. Nice to send stepsister home. Still talking about avocado trees. Let's see. Someone has to break the number one jinx. No better than the Vols. Yeah, I agree with that one. Somebody's got to do it at some point. Um, it has to happen. It's got to happen. Somebody's going to do it. Greg German, my FSU will play the winner, Miami Duke. Interesting. All right, so Clemson and North Carolina both gone. I was kind of looking at those ACC brackets, and it seems to me like it's more. I was trying to wrap my head around it because I didn't look at every day of it, but it seemed to me like it's more pool play, which I thought was a pretty interesting concept. Actually, could the SEC go with that? I know the SEC is. I know they're going single elimination next year, and they're talking about what is it? Top four get the bye or double bye. So that'll be pretty cool to see. Could make it pretty interesting. Yeah, Monday night live 7:30. We'll go live Monday night 7:30. We'll talk the regional preview. We'll talk, the whole bracket. How does it, what's the best case? What's the worst case on it? And then we'll talk a little baseball, a little basketball, a little football. 865 Live seems like those guys are having a good time. I've seen a lot of tweets on that this weekend as well. JL trying to give Frank nightmares here. Don't be surprised, Doctor smiling, smoking a cigarette after you wake up. Well, I probably won't know it even if it happens. So let's let's hope that does not happen. Douglas Graham, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. Would you have pulled Phillips? I probably would have, but that's why I'm sitting here in CTV. Is where I think I said the same thing. I said the same thing as you tonight. I was like, we probably need to get him out, but I get what they're doing, and that's why Vitello has a plan with it. Based on what they're doing, I see exactly why they did it. I don't know. I know they map out kind of what they want to do ahead of time. I don't know if they plan for Secrets to go as long as he did, but yeah, it's a good question, man. It's a very good question, and I would have probably had a hard time not pulling him in the 8th inning, much less the 9th inning. But they know better than I do. Like you said, that's why we're sitting here watching, and Vitello's doing what he's doing. They know better what's available for tomorrow, what they're trying to do with that. But yeah, I'll be honest, I would have pulled him in the 8th inning. But that's just me sitting here, commentating on it or talking about it versus being in that dugout too. So, based on what we saw, Phillips basically ate it tonight, and that's saved them the rest of tomorrow. So it worked out, but I'm with you. I would have 8th inning, I would have pulled him, I think. Maybe Russell start. I wonder about it. I really do. I think that's an option. I think if he's available, I'll be interested to see Vitello's comments tonight to see, what he says, because I'm sure somebody will ask him about, who's going to start tomorrow. Here's a few comments now. Rocky Top Insider seems to. What's funny to me, Rocky Top Insider, they're free, and they're on this about the most as far as the post game and stuff. I'm just going to give a few of these comments. Christian Moore on what Marcus Phillips showed said it was cool. It's something we've been waiting for him to show. Christian Moore, Marcus Phillips, next door neighbors, trying to be a good teammate, being his ear for him to throw strikes. Vitello, what was different for Phillips, just the conviction. You can see it when he's standing in there with him in particular. The harder he throws, the better he throws. You could see it from the get-go, the conviction he was throwing with. I mean, he was hitting, 99, 100. And you guys have heard me say it numerous times on here. Back in the fall, back in the preseason when Vitello, he talked about, he asked his hitters, who's the one guy on your staff, if you had to pick anybody you don't want to face, and he said it was majority said Marcus Phillips. So it's not a matter of if Phillips has the stuff, it's the consistency with him. You'll see the one inning like tonight, the 7th inning, 2 strikeouts and the flyout. And then you'll see the next night, 3 walks, 2 hit by pitches, and then he's pulled. in an inning, or he gets through it with that. It's just that inconsistency with him. And the dude's got some stuff. He's got some stuff. I think he'll be more of a vital part of the team. And I'm not sure if he's draft eligible after this season. If he is, who knows? You guys that have been with me this week talking about, you know where I stand on this draft stuff. If these guys get drafted, I feel they're gone. Just because now, obviously, if they're out of eligibility, they're going to go. But if you're not out of eligibility, I've stated this numerous times on this draft. These teams have an allotment as to how they can do it. They can't just draft. They have to do it. They have to use strategy when drafting. It's not like the NBA or the NFL. You just draft the best available. Wherever it falls in it. Major League Baseball is different. I've seen it. I've just by keeping up with the Braves strategy so much, and where they would kind of draft a guy under value at their slot, so they didn't have to pay him. The salary is the salary. It's the bonuses is where they're able to get those other guys. That's where the Braves were able to get these guys like Michael Harris late, your Austin Riley's, your Vaughn Grissom's, which they traded Grissom for Chris Sale, but still they're able to get those, kind of bargains late. Your Bryce Elders, even though I know Bryce Elders struggled this year, he was still a later pick, but they're able to, when they kind of sign under slot early, they're able to go later on. That's the same thing. Jared Dickey went in the 10th round last year. I've seen a lot of people saying, oh, well, he's going to come back. No, he's not. He was able to leverage a nice signing bonus out of it. It's going to be the same thing here. I'm not sure where Phillips falls as far as that goes, if he's even draft eligible or not. But, if I'm a team and I see that, I can put him in the minors and develop him with that stuff. In 20 rounds, I would take a chance on that. But like I said, I'm not sure where he falls on that because I know he is a JUCO guy, but I'm not so sure he pitched 2 years at JUCO. So if he only went JUCO 1 year, he may not be eligible as of yet, depending on his age, though. We'll see where it goes. Miles, what's up, man? Go Big Orange. LSU's gassed emotionally. A couple solid punches as baseballs knocked him out for the tourney championship. I would not be surprised. And I may be wrong. LSU's kind of playing that. But it seems like they're kind of possessed right now, playing good baseball. But, yeah, I got to think today may have taken it out of them. I think Tennessee may be able to roll tomorrow because I can't think that LSU has a whole lot left in the tank pitching. Let's see. Sam Hargrove. Hey, Frank, you saying those Kentucky guys going to be drinking a new bourbon Old Crow? I'd say they are, Sam. I'd say they are. Man, I had some of them were just like, it was freaking hilarious with what they were going on with. Had one in particular, Pamela. Pamela was her name. God almighty, she would not let it go. She come on there right before Chaz announced. Back, I don't see where Chaz is announced. Where's it at? He dropped Bible verses. I think it was telling us something. And then I just didn't comment. I just sat and enjoyed because I'd already seen it pretty much confirmed from numerous places Chaz was coming to Tennessee. And then once he committed, I went back and posted a fist and a mic drop on it, and she deleted her comments and hasn't been heard from since. Just ridiculous. Some of the Kentucky fans, they're all good if you're complimenting them, but if you don't, they start breaking out those natties, those national championships they want to talk about. Yeah, Jay Johnson got tossed tonight, so he will not be coaching tomorrow in that game. A little interesting with all that. I don't even know what all happened on that one. I'd kind of flipped back to watching Lady Vols in Alabama at that point, so I missed a little bit of that. Big Orange Mullet. Got a little loose for a second. Let's talk about Marcus Phillips throwing line. Marcus Phillips was throwing heat tonight. I mean, you look, these guys, man, I don't know if it's something with the Aaron Hoover. I don't know if they're amped up more. I don't know what it is, but Beam was throwing 96 last night. Nate Snead hit 101. Phillips hit 100 tonight. Maybe it's just that postseason. They're ready to rock and roll. There's no holding back at this point. And, you basically have a few weeks left. So that's kind of where you're at with that as well. BS, appreciate that, man. Appreciate the $5. Appreciate your channel overall coverage. Tennessee Volunteer Sports, go Big Orange. Let's win the SEC and a Natty in baseball this year. Thank you so much for your generosity, guys. Appreciate that. Cannot agree. Cannot agree more, man. It's that's absolutely it. Let's do this thing. You know, a lot of people talking about wanting to be the one and such. Let's do it. Let's be the one. Let's win the SEC tournament. Let's win the whole thing. Let's do it. Let's do it all this year. Might as well. Let's see what else we got. Devin Arnold, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. Good, go Big Orange. Way to survive another chippy game tonight. And I'm sure Tennessee's going to get all the blame for it or whatever. It takes two to tango. And the SEC ball, if it's somebody on the outside looking in, and most of them want to blame Tennessee for it, if you don't think the other team has something to do with it, yeah, you're crazy. You guys are supposedly sitting in dugouts around high school. I'm sure you got a bunch of choir boys and a bunch of nuns in your dugout. I coached one of the guys I coached with last year. We had a dude had a little fire in him. Loved it. Loved the guy. He'll be a junior next year with it. Curious to see where he goes. But I was talking to one of the guys I coached with, and I'll give you the PG version of it. He said, I don't want a bunch of choir boys. He said, I want a guy that has some piss and vinegar in him. And yeah, I can't agree more. Cannot agree more with that. I want guys that's out there to win. I want guys that's out there that they're not afraid when that other team gets mouthy to get mouthy back. That's what I love about it, because if you sit and take it, they're going to walk over you with it. Is what it is. It's SEC. It's big boy baseball. It's going to be big boy baseball next weekend and moving forward. You know, if you're in it to be a choir boy, if you're in it to play it the right way or the traditional way, you're going to get sent to the house. It's just the way it is. Teams get fired up. Now, I'm not saying be disrespectful. Don't get me wrong. There's a fine line. I think there's a line with it for sure. There is a line. Did Tennessee a couple years ago push that envelope? That they probably crossed the line a couple times. I'm not going to lie about that. And there were some times I cringed on what they did, but you know, they're at this point with this year, they do nothing that other teams don't do. It's just college baseball. It's fun. It's what it's meant to be, man. It's, you know, still a bunch of grown kids basically playing the game, and they're having fun playing it. Sam Hargrove, wish we had a burner we could put in the pinch run and applied more pressure on the base. Yeah, I do too, man. They don't have it, though. They don't have it. I mean, your best base runners are probably Inslee and Christian Moore. I think, is it Lowry? I think it's pretty quick, but they don't use him much. He seems to be a pretty good base runner with a little bit of speed. You're not going to pinch hit him, but I could see him like pinch running for your catchers at some point. But yeah, it'd be nice if you had that dude. I agree. That's a very good comment. G White, what's up, man? Good to see you in here. AJ Russell start tomorrow. Interesting. It's I've seen a couple of you say that now. I'm interested to see who it is. I really am. We'll see for anything else on here. Here's some more comments from Vitella. If you're fortunate to get, says he does think the SEC deserves 6 host spots. Well, that's irrelevant what we're talking about. Said Xander was huge for. If you're fortunate to get to this point, the turn pitching is obviously at a premium. Said Xander was huge for us today. Let's see if there's anything else here. You talked about facing LSU. I'm really curious to see. I don't see anything else about the pitching for tomorrow as of this point. Let's see if anybody else has got anything. Nope, not seeing that right now. None of the other guys have anything posted that I'm seeing on here. So it'll be later tonight, may even be tomorrow before we know, exactly what is going on there as well. But let's see. I'm trying to see. I'll run across another one. Yeah, I mean, there's another. Looks like Fox Sports Knoxville goes live. If you want the best baseball coverage, it's here. It is here. There's no doubt about it. Devin Arm, if they want to win, I wouldn't put Dallas in tomorrow. I don't think he's ready for a high stakes game. You could go one of two ways with it. I agree on that. You could also test him again to see how he would do. Um, I will say this: I would throw Dallas tomorrow before I wasted one of my main guys for the regionals or super regionals. I really would. If it come down to him or risking AJ Russell, I'm throwing Dallas on it. But I think they've got a pretty good group of arms ready for tomorrow. Dallas will be a good one. His control is, he's inconsistent. He's too erratic. Oh boy, this is the pot calling the kettle black right here. I'm done. Save this for the next time you get pissed. Okay. All right. I'm sure you will. Save this for the next time on yours too. Let's see. Some of you asked about Phillips. I'm going to pull that roster up. I'm pretty sure he's a sophomore. Let's see what they got him listed. If he's redshirt sophomore, he's draft eligible. He is listed as a true sophomore on the UT Sports website. So, barring that he is not, let me see if they've got their birth dates listed by chance. July 26, 2004. So he's not 20 yet. He'll be back next year. He will be back. If you're like, at 2021, I think maybe 21, you're eligible. So that's why Dylan Dreiling is eligible to be drafted. He's a true sophomore, but he'll be like 21. So, but Phillips, true sophomore, he will not be 21. I think I'm right. It could be 20, but I'm thinking it's 21 on that. Let's see. I'll go through some more comments. Thought the same about Phillips in the ninth. Shocked to see him come back out after the eighth. I don't think. Here's what I think on that. If this would have been the regional or beyond, Phillips probably would not have come back out, or they would have pulled him in the eighth. But I see what they were trying to do tonight. They're trying to, and it worked. They were trying to, not use as many pitchers as possible. It worked out, so they're good to go tomorrow. Interesting. Okay, so I was assuming since Johnson got tossed, he would not be coaching tomorrow. So all right, maybe not. I hadn't heard that for sure. I was just assuming it. So good stuff there, Mullet. Yep, Phillips is a sophomore, true sophomore. He'll be back next year for sure. John Majors, what's up, man? Good seeing you. Go Big Damn Orange, hit like and subscribe. Absolutely. All right, so we're up to date on comments. Appreciate you guys with your super chats. Again, with super chats, with super thanks. I mean, they go back into the channel. Like I said, I'm not out here painting the town with them or none of that stuff. It goes back into the channel, especially as this thing keeps growing a little bit. I'll keep investing, and I'm still looking to evolve it a little bit because I kind of felt like it hit a little bit of a stall this week, and not for lack of views or nothing. I just kind of feel like there's another level this thing needs to go to at this point. So, we'll keep going with that and see where we can go on that and hopefully amp it up a little bit more. But we've had a good turnout tonight, man. 71 of us in here right now. 55 minutes. Probably wrap this thing up pretty soon. I do want to go through the lineup tonight and look at that. So Christian Moore, 3 for 5, 2 RBIs, 2 doubles. Had that home run tonight. It was just big. It gave them that cushion that they were good with. Blake Burke, 1 for 3. He had 2 walks. Amick, 0 for 5, 2 strikeouts. He left 2 on base. Again, this is why baseball is kind of a cruel sport sometimes with stats. Amick was only charged with leaving 2 on base. He didn't come through numerous times tonight. He theoretically could have been charged with about over 5 left on base, but since he did not end the inning, he didn't get charged with. I think it's a cruel thing right there. I thought they sent him. I would think Johnson's suspended too. I mean, I'm with you. And maybe I'm wrong on that. I know Mullet said that earlier. Maybe he heard something I didn't, but I'm always under the impression if you get tossed, you're out. I know when Vitello got tossed, he was out, like 3 games or something. So maybe it was a game. I can't remember. He's had numerous suspensions, so I can't keep up with it. But I'm pretty sure you get tossed, you're out at least the next game. So I can't, unless there's an appeal, which if I'm Johnson, I go and serve it tomorrow. Um, that's you don't want to be suspended for the regionals or super regional. Yeah, this is kind of Tim. This is kind of the one I was thinking of. The old bird as he rounded the bases, and I read about afterwards why it kind of happened, but still, yeah, that's yeah, it was definitely not a good look by Jordan Beck. Funny from my end, but still, yeah, it's like one of those. It was very cringeworthy. That team did some cringy things for sure. Love that team, but let's face it. When it all boiled down to it, they came up short. Um, they did not get it done when it was all said and done. Last year's team, it didn't have half the talent, went further than that team did, and they didn't play near as well, but they went further. I think that says a lot about a lot of things, and I don't know if they went in that Notre Dame series and took them for granted or what, but bottom line is they didn't get it done. They didn't get it done. I thought there were some coaching decisions with the pitching in that series that lacked a little to be desired. And Vitello will talk about it. He said he's open. He makes bad. If you're any coach makes bad decisions, we don't know about all the other coaching bad decisions because we watch Tennessee. You're never, as a coach, going to make 100% the best decisions. There's always those decisions you wish you had back. It just is what it is. You go with your gut sometimes. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it does not. With Tony Vitello, it's worked a whole hell of a lot more than it hasn't. And unfortunately, sometimes the bad decisions are the ones that get magnified and amplified. But it's part of it. It's definitely a tough job. There's no doubt about it. Cannot imagine at that level. Just the levels I've coached at, it's tough enough. And you get into, especially when you got that microscope on you, you get that more scrutiny with it. It is what it is. Timothy Arnett, hey man, good to see you. Got the best baseball team, #1 team in the nation. Yeah, they're going to be #1 in the NCAA tournament. I think that's locked up at this point. I think they'll solidify it tomorrow. I totally expect they're going to take care of business tomorrow. It's no disrespect against LSU. I think Tennessee's better, and Tennessee's going to have more pitching available to them as well. But LSU, they're kind of that team that's doing a lot of good things right now. Their talent is starting to take over. I don't think it's ever been with them a lack of talent. It's just been a matter of putting it together. So, if I'm one of these teams, these 1 seeds that gets LSU in my region starting next week, I may not want that. We've seen it when Tennessee played them, 3 years ago in the regionals? Tennessee took care of business with them, but they went up to, I'm pretty sure it was the Gonzaga region, if I'm not mistaken, and they won that region. I don't think you want to see LSU in your region. Tennessee's not going to see them. But if you're one of these other 1 seeds or something, whether it's in East Carolina, UC Santa Barbara, a Florida State, somebody like that, and you get LSU in your bracket, you may not want to. Bird was one of the greatest things I've ever seen. It was pretty hilarious. I'm going to admit I got a big kick out of it too. Probably not the thing to do, to be honest with you, but that this program, going back when I was on another channel, as a lot of you know, I don't need to even mention them, but I had that idea to do baseball. We started getting, I think it was the first year ESPN Plus, we started getting college baseball consistently. At that point, Tennessee was playing at Georgia Southern, and I really felt like that was the birth that weekend of the Villains, more or less. It was later on the Villains came into play, but Georgia Southern was up. I think it was the 9th inning. Drew Gilbert hits a bomb, flips the bat. I feel like that was the birth of the Villains. Drew Gilbert is my favorite Tennessee volunteer baseball player ever. Love him. I hate that he's with the New York Mets, but you know, it's pretty cool seeing a lot of these former Vols doing well right now, either in the minors and they're getting close to promotions, or some of them who've gotten called up, like Trey Lipscomb, Jordan Beck, doing pretty good things as well. That to me was the birth of the villains, and just, you know, some of the stuff they did in it. And then you got to that year, you got to the Wright State game, and probably, you know, maybe one of the greatest moments in Tennessee baseball history when Gilbert hit that grand slam to win that game. What a game! What a night! Propelled them on. They didn't win I don't think they lost a game in the regionals nor the super regionals. Went on to Omaha and went 2 in barbecue, but still yet, that team, that group of guys were the trendsetters for this program. The ones before that, they had a good team the year of COVID. They had a real good team that year. I would have been really curious to see how far they could have went that year. The year before it, they went to the Chapel Hill Regional. They had a good team. That was when Vitello first got things rolling, and it's just, propelled from there. Give me all the villain smoke. I mean, in this conference, you got to have it in it. You got to have that swagger. You got to have, for lack of a better term, you got to have that piss and vinegar in you. You just do. You're in the wrong place if you don't have it in you. Like I said, if you're a choir boy, and there's nothing wrong with that, all right? There's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely. If you're a respectful guy, there's a respectful way, but you still got to have that fire in it. Just because you have that fire and talk a little trash does not mean you're a bad human being by any means. Let's see. Here's a little more about Jay Johnson. Let's see. He was told by the umpire if he didn't leave immediately, he would face being suspended, so he left the field. And from what just read, okay, interesting. All right. So that's, I don't know. I guess I just don't understand all the rules with it anymore. It seems like a toss is a toss, but that's a couple of you have said it. I'll go with you guys on what you're saying. I always thought it was an automatic suspension afterward, but we'll go with that. We'll expect to see Jay Johnson in the dugout tomorrow. Frankly, I think that it's stupid. You get suspended after getting tossed. It's already happened. You've already gotten thrown out. Why does it need to carry over? It's stupid. Gilbert Grand Slam is a top 5 Tennessee sports moment for me. Oh my gosh, that was something else. It was unbelievable that night. I think I pretty much lost my voice on that one. Let's see. I don't even think I got through the lineup. I got off track here. I got to Amick 0 for 5. Tennessee needs Billy Amick. Tennessee needs Billy Amick. I'm hoping his slump's happening now and he's out of it next weekend, because he's had a bad SEC term. I've said it earlier tonight. I don't have a problem if they set him tomorrow and let him watch. Let him get his mind back right. Dreiling 1 for 4 tonight. Inslee 0 for 5. He left. Yeah, that's where I got on my tangent about guys left on base. Inslee got 2 times where Amick and Dreiling did not come through. And Dreiling's come through a lot this year. I mean, Amick's come through as well. They didn't tonight. Neither time. They both had a chance to really put that thing way out of reach. And Inslee was the one that got credited with leaving the runners on base with tonight. His average went back down 22 points. Now he got a 272, 0 for 5 tonight. Not a good night for him. Tears 2 for 5. Peebles 2 for 3. Good for him. Bargo 1 for 2. Antigua 0 for 2. Antigua, his bat's what's keeping him out of the lineup. There's no doubt about that. He's, he's not even making contact. And you can't put him in the lineup with you can't put him in the lineup no more. He said, all right, we got an LSU fan in. Tennessee's Tiger Bait won't be Rocky Top being played tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see about that there, John. We'll see about that one there, bud. I wouldn't get my hopes up on that. What kind of pitching you got? Serious question, John. If you're still in here, what kind of pitching does LSU have for tomorrow? Because I'm not sure on that. I know you've played a lot of games this week, kind of an extra inning game tonight. So, serious talk, no trash talk, none of that. I want to hear, if you're still listening on here, what kind of pitching does LSU have available for them tomorrow? Because I don't know, and I'm really interested because I know they've had to exhaust quite a bit this week with it. Tennessee, I feel like pretty good shape on pitching for tomorrow. You're not going to see any of their weekend starters, but there's enough guys that you can go a bullpen game and stretch this thing out. I really do. And I think it'll be Paul Skeens coming back tomorrow. Sweet. Well, it'll be even sweeter to beat LSU with Paul Skeens on the mound tomorrow. So, feel free to hit the road anytime, you clown. If you want to come back tomorrow after we smoke you, come on back. We'll be ready for you on here. We got plenty of them ready for you since you're not mature enough to have a conversation. So get lost. We'll see you later. See you tomorrow. Come on back after we smoke you tomorrow. I'll welcome any fans on here. If you can't have a serious, if you want to joke and talk trash, that's fine. If we try to have a serious conversation, we'll be stupid. You can move along. All right. Just plain as that. So I wouldn't expect anything less from you, but, we'll see. I'll be live with you tomorrow right after this game, the Tennessee LSU game. Tennessee's a better team. Tennessee has more pitching available tomorrow. I look for Tennessee to take care of business tomorrow. LSU's been on this nice run in the tournament. I feel it's going to come to a screeching halt tomorrow. I'm going to wrap this thing up with you guys. We're about an hour and 7 minutes in. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me in here tonight. Any fans are welcome. You want to come in and talk sensible. You want to talk trash, that's fine, or whatever. Other than that, if you're a goofball, you can move along. My name's Frank Rock. This is the House of Orange Sports Channel. I hope you have an awesome rest of your evening. And this is for you, John Jay. You're going to see it tomorrow. Go Vols.